New questions about those final moments between Karen Reed and her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Reed in the middle of a retrial, accused of backing her Lexus SUV into O'Keefe in a rage, leaving him to die in the snow. She claims that after a night of drinking, she dropped O'Keefe off at this house on Fairview Road and then drove back to his home to spend the night. Prosecutors examining GPS data and clocks on both Reed's SUV and O'Keefe's phone.
The clock in the Lexus, is that a universal time, or do clocks on different devices run differently?
Sure. So it's not a universal time. Clocks on different devices run differently. So if you've ever noticed that your microwave clock is not running in sync with your iPhone, the same thing is occurring here.
Prosecutors calling a digital forensics expert, testifying that when you calibrate the clock on her SUV and his phone, O'Keefe's phone stops moving at the same time Reed leaves in her SUV. This is a change from original reports which showed O'Keefe's phone taking steps after Reed's SUV left. The defense arguing that shows she didn't kill him.
How many times in your career, sir, have you submitted a supplemental or amended report in the middle of trial?
This would be the only one that I recall.
So this is the only time. How many years have you been doing this?
Approximately 10 years.
And so approximately 10 years, this is the first time you've submitted a amended supplemental report in the middle of a trial.
A supplemental report, correct.
The defense attacking the expert's credentials, pointing out that while his company's website and LinkedIn pages say he has a degree, he never graduated from college.
As you sit here today, you do not possess any bachelor's degree.
Correct.
So the state also had a DNA expert on the stand talking about a hair found on Reed's taillight. He said, based on DNA, that hair could belong to O'Keefe, but he couldn't confirm if it was his hair. Michael.
All right, Eva, thank you. Let's bring in ABC News Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams. Dan, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And, you know, the evidence about the SUV's movement, that's now in this retrial. Is that damaging to the defense? And if so, how much?
Look, it's new, right? It's a change. And it does, in theory, link the movements of the car to the point where his phone is locked for the last time. Pretty powerful stuff. But as Eva points out on cross-examination, they were able to pretty effectively undermine the credibility of this witness, not just with regard to his background, but also with regard to his methodology. So I think in the end, the testimony with regard to Karen Reed's own statements and the condition of the car are going to still end up being more important than this, new evidence.
You think Reed takes a stand this time?
I still don't think she does. I think it's more likely in this case than in the last one because there are more statements from her that need explaining, in particular her comments that she made after the last verdict. But I still don't think she's going to testify.
I still can't believe how many interviews she did after that first trial.
And in particular that she makes a comment that she might have clipped him, right? Yeah. That's a critical admission. So that, to me, you want to know what the single biggest difference is from the first trial and this one? It's that. It's that interview.